his full attention. Don't try to win a woman's love by giving her everything at once. Instead, make her work for your time. When she has to work for you, she won't take you for granted, and that's when she starts following you. 2 signs for chasing. You can't do anything else. When you start to chase a woman, you send her a message that says, "I have no other choice and I need you to validate me." Whether you're aware of it or not, that's how she sees it. And as soon as she does, her interest in you drops. This is called pre-selection, and it happens naturally. Psychology says that if other people, especially women, think you're important, she will too. When something is in high demand, people think it's worth more, but when it's easy to get, they think it's not worth much. So what happens when you chase a woman? You tell her that she's the only woman you're interested in. You act like you don't have any other choices. When you don't seem like a guy women want to be with, you come off as someone who is desperate for attention, and that's the fastest way to lose their interest. Let's use this in real life. Think of 2 places. There is a long list of people who want to see one. For those who are lucky enough to get a place, the line outside is long. The other place is not at all occupied. You can just walk in at any time and find a place. Which do you think is better? Most people would pick the one with the wait list because it's famous, which means it's good. When it comes to guys, women feel the same. If you're always chasing, texting twice and trying to prove yourself, she thinks no other women are interested in you. But if you're the guy who doesn't chase but seems sure of himself and in demand, she starts to wonder, why isn't he trying harder? Does he have better? When you no longer care about women, they start chasing you. It's not a chance either. You put money into a pattern, time and energy into making her feel special because they think that being consistent and persistent will win her over. But instead of being grateful for it, she pulls away, acts like it doesn't matter, or even starts to think about other choices. There are times when it seems annoying, unclear, and totally unfair. But then something changes. It stops interesting you, not as a trick, but because you're really done, your mind goes to something else. When you give up, she comes back out of nowhere. She's the one who started to notice that you've been detached and is trying to get your attention again. Welcome to Man of Substance, where I teach guys how to be confident in their relationships and in life in general. We're going to talk about one of the biggest problems in dating today: why women start chasing you after they lost interest. This is not just a random action, it's a reaction that can be predicted based on psychology and the way people are. Here's the truth: work alone doesn't lead to attraction. If it were that easy, every nice guy who showed interest over and over again would have a lot of choices. That's not how it works, though. Women don't chase what's always there for them. Instead, they go after what makes them nervous, what interests them, and what they might lose. When you paid attention to her all the time, she knew she had you. But when you stop, it makes her think of something deep down. Did I judge him wrong? Is he worth more than I thought? That doubt makes her think again about how much you're worth. But let's be clear, this only works if you're really not interested. If you're acting to be interested but really want her to notice, she'll pick up on it. Women can tell when a man still cares, even if he's trying to hide it. When her being there or not being there doesn't affect you anymore, that's when she starts chasing you, not because she wants to play a game, but because you've become the kind of man she doesn't want to lose. This video will explain in detail why this takes place, what makes women want to be with you, and how you can easily position yourself as a man who attracts women without ever having to chase them. Let's start. Before we begin, I've set up a Pody group where I explain everything in detail. You will get straightforward, useful tips that will boost your confidence and help you make connections that are stronger and more meaningful. The best part is that the first 20 people who sign up will get a 10% discount. Don't wait. To reserve your spot, click the link in the description. Send this to someone who might find it useful. One woman values what she works for. Men often think that if they give a woman everything, constant praise, gifts, and hard work, she will naturally value it more. But the truth is different. She doesn't care as much about your attention when she can get it easily. Women don't really put money into things that are simple. This idea isn't just about relationships, it's a basic part of human psychology. We naturally value things that require work. If a woman has to work hard to earn your time and attention, she becomes emotionally invested in you. But if you give it to her without her having to earn it, she sees it as cheap, not in terms of money, but of meaning. This is why men who overgive, constantly chase and make themselves too available often get ignored or even disrespected. They make it too easy. Nothing is exciting or challenging, and there is no sense of achievement. When a man chooses who he spends time with and doesn't just give his attention to anyone, a woman starts to value him more. Here's an easy way to compare these two things. Imagine getting a brand new luxury car for free, with no strings attached and no work on your part. At first, you might be thrilled, but after a while, you start to take it for granted because you didn't have to work for it, so it doesn't feel as special. But now imagine that you had to save for years, work extra hours, and make sacrifices to buy that same car. You would value it more in the second case because you worked hard for it. In desire, the same rule holds true. If a woman knows she can get your attention whenever she wants without having to do anything, she won't value it. But if she thinks she has to earn your time by being interested, putting in effort, and investing in you, she will value it and want more of it. Think about a woman who is being chased by two men. One man texts her first, says nice things about her all the time, and makes it clear that he'll do anything to win her heart. The second man is not the same. He's busy with his own life and doesn't give in easily, which makes her feel like she needs to prove herself to him. She's naturally drawn to the second man, not because he's playing a game, but because he gives her options. Being interested in them makes you more appealing. High-value guys don't chase, they attract. They focus on their goals, their way of life, and getting better. A lot of women are drawn to them because they don't seem like they need anyone. When you think that way, women will start chasing you, not because you influenced them, but because you turned into the kind of man they want to be with. The important thing to remember is that when women start chasing you, you lower your perceived value. If you want a woman to chase you, stop acting like she's your only chance at love. Instead, make your life interesting, because women always want the best guys that other women want. Third, the ego shock method. Women like to know what's going to happen. An attraction. They like being aware of their situation and think they are in charge when they do. If a woman thinks a man is fully invested, texts first, is always available, and consistently shows interest, she thinks she has him figured out. There's no mystery, no challenge, and no reason for her to question anything. She's sure she has your attention, but what happens when that certainty is suddenly gone? No more good morning texts, the double lines are gone. What used to be long talks are now short replies. All of a sudden, the steady approval she was getting without trying goes away. This is where the ego shock comes in. She thought she had you close, but now there's doubt. That doubt is what makes her start to chase you. The women are used to being chased. From a young age, guys have been interested in them. Whether they're with you in real life or on social media, they want something. It's part of their lives. So when a guy tells her how he feels, she doesn't obsess over him. She already knows she has him. There's no tension, energy, or reason to wonder. And when a woman doesn't have to wonder, she doesn't want to chase. But when the attention suddenly goes away, things change. She starts to doubt everything as soon as you break the routine. Did she get your interest wrong? Are you losing your temper? Have you met someone else? It makes her feel uneasy to know what will happen. It hurts her pride because she was sure of your interest before, but now she feels like she needs to fill the void. This is where most men go wrong. They think that by telling a woman over and over that they're interested in her, they'll keep her interested, but what they're really doing is taking away the very thing that keeps attraction alive. Not knowing it's boring to be predictable because she doesn't value your attention once she knows she has you. When men cause ego shock, they're not messing around. They're just changing their focus. They stop wanting approval and over-explaining themselves. They let the woman feel a little unsure, and when that happens, she naturally starts to try to get the attention she used to have. This isn't trickery, it's how people think and feel. People take things for granted when they are certain, but they value them more when they are unsure. And when a woman starts to wonder if she still has you, she starts chasing you. 4 mental withdrawals make her chase. Women are very sensitive to changes in how people feel. As soon as a man stops giving her his full attention the way he used to, she knows it, and that feeling changes everything. She doesn't think much of it at first. Maybe you're just busy. But when you don't respond as often, she stops paying attention to you, and the emotional connection she used to depend on goes away. She starts to think quickly and asks herself, did I do something wrong? What changed? This lack of certainty leads to a response. A woman likes it when a guy pays attention to her because it makes her feel safe, important, and in charge. When you were fully involved, she didn't have to think about it because you had her full attention. But when you start to pull away, she no longer has the certainty she had before. And when a woman loses certainty, she starts to chase you. Most guys make the mistake of doing the wrong thing. When they sense a woman pulling away, they freak out. They chase her harder, send her longer messages, and try to reassure her of their feelings, but all this does is make her feel better. She sees that she still has power and doesn't need to do anything right away. No woman chases when she knows you're not going anywhere. To understand that emotional withdrawal isn't about playing games, you need to change your attention. You stop being the man who is always looking for approval and start being the man who values his own personal energy. You stop giving too much to someone who isn't investing as much in you. Once that shift happens, she starts to notice. A woman feels like she has lost power when she notices that a man is emotionally pulling away. That's when she starts to think too much. She thinks about old talks, questions why your mood changed, and looks for ways to get your attention again. The emotional distance makes a hole she wants to fill, and that's when she starts to work at it. Women don't go after guys who are easy to get together with. They go after people who take their attention off of them, not to trick you, but because they really do have other things to do. As soon as she notices that your thoughts aren't on her, she wants to bring you back to her. I think this is why mental distance is so strong. You're in charge again after it makes her value things she used to take for granted. Men who are mentally strong are always in charge of their lives, and if a woman feels in charge, she will do anything to get your attention again. 5 men who move on look better afterward. For a woman, nothing makes her want you more than seeing you go out with someone else. When you stop chasing, waiting, and focusing on her, something changes in her thoughts. You're no longer just a guy she thought would always be there. You're now the guy she could lose forever, and that changes everything. Women naturally want to be with guys who have goals. When a man is fully focused on himself, his goals and growth become more interesting. He's not basing his whole worth on her. He's not desperate for her acceptance. And that confidence is attractive, even if she doesn't say it. Men who dwell on the past, on the other hand, are more likely to get a woman's attention. Your attitude lets people know, even if you don't say a word. If she thinks you're still feeling romantic feelings for her, she doesn't feel compelled to chase you because she sees you as an option. And choices don't make people want something, scarcity does. But the moment you move on, something changes in her mind. How did he get over me so fast? Does he not care anymore? She asks herself. Has he met someone better? This isn't because she just realized she loves you. It's because she misses you. And women don't like how they lose control over a guy. A great example of this is when two people break up. At first, the man is heartbroken when she breaks up with him. He texts her and maybe even begs for another chance. What takes place? She loses even more interest in him. She can see that he still needs her mentally, which makes her want to be away from him even more. Then something shifts. He stops trying to connect with other people and starts to focus on himself by going to the gym, building his business, and getting back in touch with his love. He's no longer the sad guy waiting for her to approve of him. He is a man with a plan. Then she texts him out of the blue, "Hey, how have you been?" It wasn't his quiet that made her reach out. It was the way he changed. He stopped making her the center of his world and moved on, which made her question everything. Ladies, don't chase men who are stuck in the past. Instead, go after men who have something better to do than wait for you. When you start to think about yourself, she will notice. 6 women hate losing power. Women like to feel in charge of their relationships, not in a sexy way, but in a way that lets them know they can affect a man's feelings. She feels safe if she can make you react and if she can pull you in and push you away at will. But as soon as she loses control and learns she doesn't have you, she starts chasing you. This is the issue. A lot of guys give up their power without even realizing it. They put women up too high, spend too much emotionally, and react to every little thing she does. What does this do? It makes her feel good. She doesn't try to get your attention. She already has it. There's no adventure, no riddle, and no reason for her to chase. Men need to wake up and understand that desire isn't based on need. You've already lost the game if you're always trying to prove yourself and get her praise. A woman will never value a guy who is easy for her to control. Take a look. Who do women look up to the most? The men with rules and limits who don't let their feelings get thrown around like a toy. When their mood changes, these guys don't act on it. When she pulls away, they don't give up. And these guys keep women interested because they don't make her the center of their world. As soon as you stop letting her control how you feel, the power changes. She starts to wonder why you're not acting like other guys do. She starts to wonder why you're not giving her the attention she's used to. That's when she starts to chase you, because she thinks she's losing you. For many men, thinking that they have to please a woman all the time is the only way to keep her. It's not. It's true that she gets bored when things are too easy for her. Women like guys who make them work for it. Not because they are sneaky, but because women naturally value what they have worked for. Now you need to wake up. Stop letting women decide how to attract guys. Give up being defensive. Do not give up your power. As soon as you give it back, she knows she doesn't want to lose you when you show her that you're not emotionally dependent on her. The chase starts all of a sudden. 7. Indifference is the ultimate attractiveness trigger. A man who stops caring is the one thing that makes a woman quickly interested in him. Not acting like you don't care, not playing games, really not caring if she stays or goes. That kind of mental distance makes an attraction that women can't resist. Why? Because women need to be emotionally involved to thrive. She can set the pace of the relationship if she knows she has your attention. She can choose when to respond, when to be distant, and when to pull you back in. But as soon as she realizes that none of this matters to you anymore, she starts to lose her hold, and that's when she starts chasing. Most men make the mistake of being too interested in a woman who isn't fully interested in them. They think about every text message and word she says and try to win her over by being approachable and showing how valuable they are. But this makes things worse. She feels too safe in it. She knows she doesn't need to do anything because you're already taking care of everything. But when a man stops caring and shifts his energy away, something unexpected happens. She can feel the difference. She can tell that you don't feel as rushed, and for the first time, she wonders if she really has you the way she thought she did. Give it some thought. Women never go after guys who are too eager. That's why they chase the people who don't give them anything in return, like those who don't text first or act when she pulls away. This is why staying away from something is so strong. It makes things uncertain, and doubt makes things attractive. But the important thing is to be really uninterested and not act like you're not interested. Women are very perceptive, so some men try to act like they don't care, while inwardly hoping she will. She won't fall for it if she knows you're just acting. To really not care about someone, you have to stop thinking about them and start living your life without her in mind. When a woman sees that you've emotionally distanced yourself, she starts to think about you more. She starts to wonder if she was wrong about how valuable you were. She starts to think about past exchanges with you and wonders why she still has an effect on you. Before she knows it, she's chasing you. When you stop trying to get her approval, you become the prize, and a woman will always chase what she thinks she's losing. Indifference isn't about controlling her, it's about realizing how valuable you are. And when you do that, things change in your favor. When it comes down to it, attraction isn't about chasing, it's about placement. The moment you stop making a woman the center of your world, she starts seeing you differently. It's not magic or a trick, it's how people think and feel. And now for the truth that most guys don't want to hear. Ladies don't want the nice guy, they want the guy they have to work for. The men they chase aren't the ones who are always trying to prove themselves, they're the ones who don't have to. Everything changes when you start to value yourself more than she does. Most men will never go through this change because they're afraid to let go. They hold on to the belief that hard work, determination, and showing how valuable they are will make a woman love them. But the truth is that women respect guys they can't control. She will always chase the man who doesn't think twice about leaving and knows what he's worth with or without her. I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen a woman chase you after you stopped being interested in her? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll read and react. I want to build a community where men can learn from each other, so let's keep the conversation going. Also remember that your worth doesn't depend on how much a woman wants you. It depends on what kind of man you are. As soon as you fully understand that women will never decide if they want you, you will decide if they are even worth your time. If you want to learn more about these ideas, click on the link in the description to join my Podia group. It's full of useful information to help you be a better man in today's dating world. Watch out for your power and stay strong. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.